Hello and welcome to this episode of 1.12 Creative. In today's episode, I'm going to be making a library. So I've picked out all my blocks on the side here and I've laid down the foundation. I did the foundation off camera just because there was no real point of doing it on camera. It's just a very basic foundation, but I wanted that laid out before I started recording, since I knew I wouldn't be really recording much of it anyway. So now I can start on actually building the library. I want the front to have a little bit of a porch, I guess you could say, around the front. So I want to leave at least 3 blocks of space for it and start building the building properly here. I might have the porch go all the way around the building. We'll see how that looks and how much space that leaves me with on the inside. I think libraries are one of my favorite things to make in Minecraft. They take a long time in survival, and they can take a long time in creative too, just designing it and making it look good. But they really are my favorite building to make, even though, especially in survival, they're such a pain to get all the materials for. I do really enjoy the process of building them. The other thing I should mention for this build is I usually build in odd numbers, so leaving space for an odd, like just a 1 off door. But for this build, I built in evens at least for the front, in order to get the door to be 2 wide. So I know that I'm probably going to want to put windows in here, but I don't know where they're going to go, where the bookcases are going to be yet, so I'm just going to fill the whole building in without windows and then go along when I'm actually putting the interior in and adding the windows to the interior. So for this building design, I'm going to build up the first floor with stone brick, and we'll build that up at least 4 blocks, I think. That should give plenty of room on the inside. This library is going to have at least 2 levels and probably a 3rd level that's just 1 room for an enchanting table. Now, since this is in 1.12, we're missing quite a few of the decoration blocks. For example, the lecterns. I really like using those in libraries. But we don't have those in 1.12, so we will have to do without in this build. Okay. So I think 1 more layer with the stone, and then I can get started on the 2nd floor. Yeah. This is starting to look a little bit cramped, the 2 wings of the building here. But in one of these, I'm going to have a staircase going up, so that's fine. And the other one can be a little bit cramped. For the 2nd floor, it's going to be overhanging our little porch here. So there'll be a lot more room up on the 2nd floor in the little wings. So I'm not too concerned about it being cramped on the 1st floor. As always, I apologize for any noises in the background. I have a 6-month-old who really likes to make himself heard whenever I'm talking. Okay, so that should be good for the 1st floor. Like I said, I am going to put windows in, so it's not going to look as flat, but I don't know where the windows are going to be right now, so I'm not going to throw those in yet. So I'm going to grab some of the white concrete and then the walnut wood in order to start making my 2nd floor. And I'm probably going to do the floor itself out of dark oak wood. So I think we'll do a line of walnut wood right here. And then we'll fill the floor in with the dark oak wood. Alright, so there's our floor filled in. I'm going to put the stairs over here, but for now, I just filled it all the way in. I'll worry about how the stairs are going to look once I have more of a plan for the first level. I haven't lit it up down here either. This world is on peaceful, so there's no worry about mobs spawning in there. So I can worry about the lighting when I'm actually putting things into the interior. So now what I'm going to do is start work on building the second floor. And like I said, I do want the second floor to overhang a bit, which now I'm realizing I should have done the dark oak wood along the edges too, because that's going to be the floor. And then do the walnut on the very edge here so that it matches up with the porch. So I'm going to fix that as I put everything in. The other idea I had for the second floor was to completely fill this area in so that it was kind of overhanging the entrance. And now that I'm thinking about it and looking, if I fill that area in, I probably don't want the porch to have an overhang. So let's test that out by filling this area in. Yeah, I think that has potential. Obviously, I need to texture it a little bit and detail it so that it's not so flat and square, but that'll come in once we have the foundation down and the outside all complete. So I'm going to use the walnut wood planks as trim and then use this white concrete on the inside as the actual wall. So this is going to take a little bit of trial and error to figure out what a good number is to break these up by, because I didn't actually count out the building, but it looks like 4 blocks of white concrete with 1 walnut plank between works perfectly. So let's see if that works on the side as well. And I love when things work out accidentally. This is great. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this in all along and then come back and start building it up. Okay, so now we have it roughed out of where each different block is going to be. We can start filling it in. There will definitely be windows on this floor, but I'm not sure where I'm going to place them yet. So like this first floor, I'm just filling everything in up here, and then I can go from the inside and pop the windows through. Okay, now that I've built everything up 4 blocks high, I can start on the actual design for the outside of the building at least. So I'm going to put the planks up 1 more block to 5 blocks high. Then we'll add some stairs. We'll add a slab. Then we'll do 2 planks. And that will make the tops of all of the sections little arches. And we can go back behind the arch and fill in the white concrete. And that should look pretty good. If you wanted a more severe arch, you could always continue with the stairs like so, and that'll give you a little bit more of a sharp point at the top. You can kind of see the difference here, but I think for this build, I like it to be a little smoother like that. And I'm going to do that for every one of these sections. Okay, now that that has been outlined, I'll need to figure out what to do for the roof. And I also want to make sure I still have space for an enchanting room on a separate floor. So I think I'm going to put it on this side of the building and probably the back of the building. And I always forget how much room an enchanting table needs in order to have bookcases around it. So I'm just going to rough that out here. And I know it needs 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a 7 by 7 area. So I'll have to make sure that I have that built out. So there's where my crafting table will be. Of course, I need to make stairs or another way to get up here. So we'll block that out here. So I know that this is going to be stairs getting to the crafting table. And there we go. I don't want the stairs to take up too much space on the floor below. So we'll see how this works. And the only reason I'm building these stairs up is because I know that they will have to have headroom to be able to get up there. And I don't want to start building the roof and find out that I've completely messed up where my stairs are going to need to be for the enchanting table. There we go. So now I know where the stairs are roughly going to be. I know that I need to leave space for them when I'm building the roof. And for the enchanting table room, I'm going to build it up the same way I did the outside with the walnut wood planks and the white concrete in between them. But for this one, instead of doing like a couple different sections per wall, I'm just going to do it one section for each wall. Okay, the enchanting table floor is roughly placed in. I did have to expand it a bit, just in order to get this inset look to the wall like the second floor has. So I had to expand it a little bit, and then I turned the staircase into a spiral staircase rather than just a plain straight down staircase. So now I need to figure out what to do for the roof. I know I want it to be more than just straight across. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place some planks on either corner here, and I want to try and get the roof shape to look something like this, stepping up towards the center. I think maybe not. That doesn't look as good as I thought it would. Okay, I'm gonna play around with the roof shape for the main building for a bit, and then once I have it figured out, I'll come back and I'll do the roof for the enchanting table setup while filming. I'm just not entirely sure what I'm gonna do with the roof for the main part of the building, so while I'm figuring that out, I might as well just figure it out off camera, and then I don't have a bunch of footage that I have to go through and cut out. So I'll be back once I've figured something out. Alright, I think I've figured out the roof design, so here's how it looks for the second floor. I think it looks alright. I haven't filled it in yet, but I can show you roughly what I did using the third floor as an example. So for the third floor, I'm going to have the roof going the opposite direction than I do on the second floor. So I just put the planks in the center beam. And for the second floor, I have them going up 5. It'll need a bit of experimentation up here to see how many I need them to go up. I'm going to start with 4 because what I did is put the stairs going down on a diagonal towards each corner. And my goal was to get it to meet up with the corner here. So I can show you over here, just meeting up at the corner, and it looks like that is, I think, the perfect height. Yes, if we put our plank in there, that's exactly where we want the stair to end up. So I will repeat that on the other side here, and that's the basic of the roof shape. And then in order to make it match the rest of the building and still keeping with that inset look, I put the white concrete on the inside wherever sky is showing through. So wherever there isn't a block for the outer edge, there's going to be a block for the inside edge. Just repeat that over here. I usually have a really hard time figuring out a neat roof, so I'm actually really proud of how this one turned out. At least from looking at it without everything filled in, just from looking at the basic shape, I'm really happy with it. And it's definitely more complicated than I would normally do. Normally I would do just a basic triangle roof and that would be it. So I'm pretty proud of this one. So there's our basic roof shapes all the way along. And what I want to do is add just a little bit of detail out this way. You can't really see it from the front, but when you look at it from the side, it looks pretty good. I actually might, instead of making that stairs, just make that a slab. No, you know what? I did like the stairs a little bit better. Okay, going with the stairs. There we go. Just to give it a little bit of something. And I might move it down, actually. Maybe my problem is because it's higher than the roof. There we go. That one looks better. I like that one. So I'll go ahead and do that on the other side as well. Over here. And then do the same for our very top roof as well. There we go. And I don't think I can do it to this one just because of how there's no beam in the center, but I think that's okay. So now I just have the job of filling in the roof. So I can start doing that. Okay, so there is the roof all filled in. I think it looks really good. So now we can get started on finishing up the bottom floor exterior, and then we can move on to the interior, putting windows in as we move on to the interior. Yeah, so for the outside here, I'm going to go over and grab some of the fence and the stone brick stairs. So I want fence all the way along our porch here, and for here where the overhang happens, I want to put some fence going up to the overhang. There we go, and probably one more here. There we go. That looks a little better, a little less plain. Let's grab some lights. I grabbed the arcane lamps from the Thaumcraft mod. If I was doing this on a 1.16 world, I would definitely just use the lanterns. They would go perfectly with this build, but we're not on 1.16, so we're going to use arcane lamps instead. So that's pretty much it for the exterior of the library. I am still going to do a couple details, like for example, I might do some type of overhang or something on the side, and when I know where I want the windows to be, I'll detail around them. But for now, we can move on to the inside so that I can place windows. So I'll go out and grab the glass panes and the bookshelves. And instead of using lecterns, because I don't have those, I might use arcane pedestals to have some books on display. We also need to put the door in, so I'll go ahead and grab the door. I'm going to put that in right now. There we go. Okay, so I know for sure there's going to be stairs over here. So I can put those in right now. So there we have our stairs to the second floor. They're a little bit narrow, but there's not much I can do with this space here. And what I'm going to do is use the walnut slabs just to create a little bit of a railing here. There we go. And we can put some of the fence in as well. And it looks like we have a nice little railing there to go up to the second floor. Continuing with the first floor, let's move our lantern over to this side, and we'll put another lantern in the back here, just to light it up back there. And now we can start figuring out what we want to do with bookshelves and with windows. So I think I'm going to put a window here, because there's not much point filling this area with bookshelves because it's so tight in here. We can still put some on either side of the window. That still looks good. And we could do some sort of slab. So let's look at our slab options. And that can act as a table of some sort. So let's try the smooth stone slabs, and I think that looks pretty good. Now it's just a matter of figuring out where the rest of the bookcases are going to go and where the rest of the windows are going to go. I will check back in once I've completed the first floor. Okay, the first floor is now completed for the most part. There might be a couple more detail things that I put in, but we have a bunch of the bookshelves up, and I've placed in some windows to let in a little bit more light. So, oh, and we have this little nook behind the stairs as well. I didn't want to leave this space just blank, so I did make it just a little book nook with a window and another one of the desk areas. If you were doing this on 1.16, I would definitely probably put some lecterns in these areas where I've put the table spaces. I think that would be an important addition down here, but because I don't have them, obviously I can't put them there, but these are the areas I would put them, and probably in front of this window too. I made a front desk area that could do with some lecterns in it as well, but without them it looks all right. So now with the second floor, there's a lot more space to fill bookshelves in. And I'd like to put windows probably in, I'm hoping I can put them in each of these sections, but we'll have to see. I'm going to go ahead and start working on the second floor, and I'll check back in once I have it complete. Alright, the second floor is now complete. So at the stairs, I've added some fence to act as a railing, and then we've got bookshelves upon bookshelves. It's a little bit of a maze up here, which is exactly what I wanted. And again, at most of the windows, actually, I will change this one as well. At most of the windows, there's just like the first floor, the bookshelves, and then the slabs acting as a little workbench or desk. And then some of the bookshelves have some stair detailing in the centers of them, just creating little viewing areas to look through. There's another one here, just a nice space where you can look through and see more of the shelves behind it. I think it's really nice. I left the arcane lamps at each of the beams here. And I think if I had the lecterns, I would probably put some of them in these little cubbies as well, but I think the lights do well in there too. Yeah, I think the second floor turned out pretty good. I could probably put a chandelier of some sort here, but I like just having the beams across and it looking very rustic and medieval. So now we have just one floor left, and that's where the enchanting table is going to go. So this one I have a pretty clear idea of what I want it to look like. I just want books in this little cubby here, right near the stairs. I'm going to put just some fence right along this edge, and then put bookshelves in where the enchanting table is going to be. I do know that you only need 15 shelves for an enchanting table to work correctly, but I like fully surrounding it with books. I think it looks really neat doing it that way, so I'm just going to fully surround mine. And then actually here, let's do some walnut wood for each corner. I'm going to put an arcane lamp on the pillar here for the stairs. I'm just going to make sure I have it all the way up to the ceiling. There we go. And of course, grabbing the enchanting table to put in there. There's the enchanting table, and to add just a little bit of interest to the bookshelves, I'm going to put walnut slabs on top of them. And for up here, I think I'll put one window. I can't put a window there. Let's try over this way. There. I can put one window here. Let's make it 3 high. And can I put another one? No, I can't. I forgot. This is over here. It's 2 blocks of concrete wide just to make it even on the outside. But I could probably... no, I don't think I can put a window anywhere else in here. But that's okay. This works. So now we have the enchanting area right here. And the second floor all completed. And the first floor complete as well. Now it's just time for some finishing touches on the outside, now that we know where the windows are. So my idea for finishing touches on the windows was just to add a little bit of an awning to them. So we'll do something like that, and then like that. It's not too It's nothing too fancy, but I think it works pretty well just with the fences and then slabs creating a little bit of an arch over top of the windows. It just stops the outside of the building from looking too flat. Because with the second floor, we have so much detail going on. I don't want to lose that detail on the first floor. I want to make sure the first floor also has some detail going on the outside. And then for the second floor windows, doing something similar. And again, it's just creating a little bit more detail to the outside of the building. Because the inside is so detailed, I want to make sure that the outside has a little bit of something as well, making it stand out too. And for these little side windows, I can't really do the same thing I've been doing if they're 3 high, so I'm just going to bring the windows down 1, and that way I can make them match. There we go. Again, bringing this window down just so I can make it match what I have going on with all of the other windows. An adjustment I would make if I was doing this in 1.16 is I would probably use shutters. So because in 1.16 you have the different trap doors, it would be really easy to put shutters on these windows. In 1.12 you only have oak trapdoors, which I don't think would go very good with this building design. So I'm just not going to put shutters on the window. I don't think it's necessary to try and introduce another type of wood because I've really been sticking with the walnut wood and the dark wood for the inside. So I don't want to introduce something new. And just to make it even on the front, I'm going to put a window in this side as well. I didn't have one here originally just because that's where the stairs are, but in order to make it match the rest, I think I'm gonna have to put a window there. And I think maybe adding one here as well. One there. There we go. That makes it a little more symmetrical on the other sides. Good. Just because it was just one side of the building that wasn't symmetrical, and I think it looks a little bit better this way. So there is our library all complete on the outside as well as on the inside. I really like how simple the first floor is, but it's still really full of books. I do like that a lot. And I really like how the second floor turned out because it's such a maze and there's so many bookshelves and they're not all symmetrical throughout here, so it's really a little bit difficult to try and navigate and find exactly where you want to go. I think it turned out really good. I like the stairs going up to the enchanting room. Just having them surrounded by the fence I think looks really cool. And then the enchanting room itself, I like how it's a little bit cramped up here, really small, and then going in to the enchanting room itself where the enchanting table is, it kind of opens up the ceiling up here when you look up, which is really neat. It doesn't feel really cramped. when you're inside here, even though it's such a small area and does feel a little bit tight when as soon as you get up the stairs, just because these books are so close to the stairs. Alright, so there we are, the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I hope you like this library build. I really like how it turned out. It's a different style of library than I'm used to making, and it was a little bit of a challenge figuring out how to build it and also keep true to my own style of building. It's a really cool challenge. I think it works really well. I think it looks good in this area, and as more things get built in this world, I can definitely incorporate the library into more things here. But yeah, let me know what I should build next in this area with the library. Maybe a potion brewing area? I'm not sure. I don't know what else would go really nicely in this area, so let me know if you have any ideas. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye.